How far would you go for the crown? And I mean both a literal crown and the sovereign who wears it. Today I'm sharing a fairy tale from Italy about a man who was a fish, and a fish who was a man, and the crown that lost him. Stick around after for information on a giveaway thanks to Sweetv Jewelry, plus a discount code for obtaining your own Halloween crown from Sweetv if you don't happen to be the lucky winner. But first, the story of Nick Fish.
The Fairy Tales with Liz.
Nick was a young man who adored the ocean. He lived in the gorgeous harbor town of Messina and spent most of his time swimming in that harbor until he was a wrinkly prune and his mother made herself hoarse calling him for dinner. In fact, his mother was very put out that he seemed to love the sea more than she, and one night she cursed him. "Oh, Nicky, if you love that ocean so badly, you might as well be a fish." Upon her words, Nick's fingers and toes webbed together, and suddenly he found he could breathe under the water. He was thrilled, and his mother was not. In fact, she was so astonished, she keeled over dead. When the king in Sicily learned there was a man in Messina who could swim and breathe underwater like a fish, he sent a crew out to the harbor city to summon the fishman to court. When Nick arrived, the king sent him out on all sorts of underwater missions. He wanted to know where the sea around Sicily was the deepest, and what Nick could see in those parts. Nick reported back that Sicily was held up underwater by 3 columns. One of them was in good shape, the second was splintered, and the third was completely broken. He also told the king that the sea off the coast of the lighthouse was the deepest. It was so deep, Nick couldn't see the bottom. This didn't satisfy the king, who pushed Nick more and more to swim as deep as he could, to find out if the sea by the lighthouse was actually bottomless. One day, Nick went as far as he dared. When he returned, he begged the king to end his missions, for he'd witnessed a fish there who could swallow a man, and he didn't want to end up the fish's dinner. The spoiled king stamped his foot. He visited the lighthouse at once and threw his crown from the tippity top so that it sunk into the deepest part of the Sicilian Sea. "Your crown!" Nick cried. "How could you do such a thing?" The king retorted, "That crown is the only one of its kind. I order you to fetch it." Nick was scared, but he promised he would try. However, the day he left, he had one request and one proclamation. "Please get me a handful of lentils. I will carry them with me, and if I manage to escape the depths with the crown, I will bring the lentils back too. But if they should float to the surface without me, you will know that I have been lost forever." He felt in his heart that the lentils would return without him. And he was right. The king's stubborn wish not only lost him a one-of-a-kind crown, it lost Italy a one-of-a-kind man. If you'd like a chance at winning one of these 3 Halloween crowns from Sweetv, make sure you're following me as well as them, and tell me in the comments which you prefer, the sapphire crown or the melanite crown. I'll see you for the next up fairy tale.